What single incident at work made you quit? I was 3 years into my job at the nursing home when I walked in on something that changed everything. I worked night shift as a care assistant, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The pay was terrible. $12 an hour to change adult diapers and lift people twice my weight. But the residents were sweet. Most nights were quiet. My favorite resident was this 82-year-old guy named Walter, ex-Marine. Told the best stories about his time in Korea. He had dementia, but on good days he'd remember my name and ask about my classes at community college. Walter's son visited every Sunday, brought flowers, stayed for hours, posted photos on Facebook with captions about how much he loved his dad. Everyone thought he was son of the year. But something felt wrong. Every Monday morning, Walter would be different, quieter. Sometimes he had bruises on his arms. When I asked, he'd just stare at the wall and wouldn't talk for hours. I mentioned it to my supervisor once. She said old people bruise easy, that I was reading too much into it, that the family had been coming there for years and never had problems, so I dropped it. But I started paying more attention. I noticed Walter's watch went missing after one Sunday visit, then his wedding ring. Little things that nobody else seemed to catch. One Sunday night, I came in early for my shift, around 8 p.m. instead of 10. I needed to pick up my check before the office closed. I was walking past Walter's room when I heard voices. The sun was still there, which was weird because visiting hours ended at 7. I stopped outside the door. I don't know why. Something in my gut told me to listen. The son was yelling, asking where dad kept the safe deposit key, saying he knew the old man had money hidden somewhere, calling him selfish for not sharing. Walter was crying, saying he didn't have any key, that he didn't remember. Then I heard a slap, the sound of skin hitting skin. Stop being difficult. The son's voice was cold. You're going to die soon anyway. Just tell me where the key is and I'll leave you alone. I pushed open the door without thinking. The son was standing over Walter's bed. Walter's lip was bleeding. His glasses were on the floor, broken in half. What's going on here? I asked. My voice was shaking, but I stepped into the room anyway. The son turned around. His face went from angry to friendly in half a second, like flipping a switch. Oh hey! Dad just fell trying to get up. I was helping him back into bed. Walter looked at me. His eyes were begging me to understand, to do something. I walked over and checked his lip. Fresh blood. The bruise on his cheek was already forming. This doesn't look like a fall. I said it quiet. I was terrified, but I said it anyway. The son stepped closer to me, smiled. That same fake smile from all his Facebook photos. Are you calling me a liar? He asked. Because that would be a serious accusation. My family donates a lot of money to this place. I know your boss pretty well. I looked at Walter, then back at the son. I'm calling security. I pulled out my phone. The son grabbed my wrist. Not hard enough to hurt, but hard enough to stop me. Put the phone away. Nobody's calling anyone. This is a family matter. I yanked my arm back and stepped toward the door. I'm calling them right now. Security came up 3 minutes later. The son was already gone by then. Left through the side door before they arrived. I filed an incident report that night, wrote down everything I saw and heard, took photos of Walter's injuries with my phone. The next morning, my supervisor called me into her office. She had the incident report in front of her. She wasn't happy. Do you know how much money Walter's family donates to this facility? She asked. They fund our entire activities program. They pay for half the staff Christmas party. I told her what I saw. The hitting, the threats, the stealing. She pushed the report back across the desk toward me. Walter has dementia. He probably got confused and hurt himself. The son was just trying to help. You misunderstood the situation. I didn't misunderstand anything. She leaned forward. Look, you're young. You're still learning how things work. Sometimes we have to be realistic about who we can and can't accuse. The family has lawyers, good ones. If you push this, they'll make your life very difficult. What about Walter's life? I asked. She didn't answer. Just told me to go home for the day and think about whether I really wanted to pursue this. I drove to the police station instead, filed a report for elder abuse, gave them the photos, the incident report, everything. They said they'd look into it. 2 days later, I got called back into my supervisor's office. She handed me a termination letter. They said I'd violated privacy policies by taking photos of a resident without consent, that I'd created a hostile environment by making false accusations against a respected family. I was fired effective immediately. I packed up my locker, said goodbye to the other night shift workers. They all knew what really happened, but nobody said anything. Walter was sitting in the common room when I walked past. He looked up and gave me this small nod, like he knew, like he understood. I never went back. 3 months later, I got a call from one of my old coworkers. Walter had died. Natural causes, they said, but he was alone when it happened. No family there, no flowers. His son posted on Facebook about how heartbroken he was, how much he'd miss his dad. The post got 200 likes. I reported what happened to the State Nursing Home Inspection Board, sent them everything I had. They investigated, found other complaints, other incidents that had been covered up. The facility got shut down 6 months later. My supervisor lost her license. I got a job at a different nursing home across town. Better pay, better management. They actually care when you report abuse. But I think about Walter all the time, about how he nodded at me that last day. I hope he knew someone tried.